You know, whenever Alan Rickman was on screen, I found myself humming the old Transformers theme. I mean, doesn't his character's name sound just like that of a Decepticon? All kidding aside, I saw Kevin Smith's Dogma recently, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Dogma is an intelligent, very funny satire of organized religion, featuring a wacky cast of characters and some refreshingly open-minded ideas about faith. Dogma has no major antagonist for much of the film, but instead establishes an intriguing, character-driven dilemma for the heroes to resolve. Fallen angels Bartleby and Loki, who were exiled to Wisconsin for pissing off God, learn that a church in New Jersey is celebrating its 100-year anniversary with a plenary indulgence. If Loki and Bartleby pass through the arch of that church, their sins will be forgiven and they will be allowed to return to heaven. But if the angels succeed, they will prove God wrong and undo all of creation. I wonder why this didn't happen when Billy Connolly sued God. With the entire universe at stake, Metatron sends a woman working in an abortion clinic, Linda Fiorentino, two stoner prophets, Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith, the little-known 13th Apostle, Chris Rock, and a Muse-turned-stripper, Salma Hayek, to stop the angels. Dogma has a lot to say about how people take religion far too seriously, and how humans and even angels can hijack a good idea and do terrible things with it. This respectful critique of religion services some strong character development. Bethany, the heroine of the film, lost her faith due to her infertility and rocky divorce, and accepts her mission reluctantly at first. But Metatron consoles her by admitting that it was unfair to burden Jesus as a child with such an enormous responsibility. With a new sense of purpose, Bethany progresses from a depressed, unmotivated person to a strong, resourceful woman. Toward the beginning, Loki, a former angel of death, is murdering sinners to get back on God's good side. But Bartleby, his friend in exile, becomes jaded and bitter about the fact that angels like him were born into servitude. Bartleby develops a hatred of humanity and resents God for denying angels any choice in life. In an alarming twist, the roles are reversed and Bartleby becomes the bad guy. Jive-talking Rufus, Chris Rock, was the black 13th apostle who was apparently left out of the Bible because of racism. Rufus, like Metatron and the others, gives Bethany advice on her journey, and believes that ideas are more important than beliefs, as belief systems lead to division and conflict. It's also good to see that Kevin Smith's religious satire acknowledges changing social attitudes. The angels in Dogma swear liberally, Metatron can be very snide and condescending, and Serendipity, a former muse, is now a stripper. Sex is also regarded as a bit of a joke in heaven, not something to be repressed or frowned upon. For a film based on religion itself, there are surprisingly few characters from Christian mythology. The name Loki is derived from Norse mythology, muses like Serendipity are from Greek mythology, and there was no 13th apostle, as far as we know. As an atheist, I would never call these figures real, but God, Metatron, and Azrael are the only characters who are actually in the Bible. Even then, Metatron and Azrael are in some versions, but not others. With the Catholic Church as the backdrop of the film, Kevin Smith skillfully crafts a fantastic universe. Even with elements from other religions, a few ideas of his own, such as a black Jesus, and a playfully irreverent tone, Smith's satire of Christianity still remains relevant. The performances are lively and natural, the characters are quirky, and there are plenty of funny gags. I found the sex-obsessed Jay to be pretty annoying until the halfway mark, but he soon shapes up to be an affable hero. My only main complaint would be with the pacing, as the road trip-style narrative lacks urgency. Even after Loki and Bartleby reach the church, they stall for a massacre before passing through the arch, so some of the tension is lost. Finally, I should mention that God is played by Canadian singer Alanis Morissette. In the Animorphs universe, Alanis Morissette has the strange tendency to end up at Nine Inch Nails concerts. Putting aside pacing problems and some labored comedy at the start, Dogma is still a witty, smart, and very fun satire of religion, and earns 4 stars out of 5. Thank you for watching. Cheers.
Dear God, don't know if you noticed, but your name is on